All throughout the summer, road projects have been underway throughout Oakland County, with some taking place right here in Greater West Bloomfield. With the main stretch of construction now near completion on Orchard Lake Road between Willow Way and Pontiac Trail, and a repaving project being done between Pontiac Trail and Long Lake, focus has been everywhere in our community this summer. Here to tell us more is the Senior Communications Manager for the Road Commission for Oakland County, Craig Bryson. Craig, great to have you with us today.
Good morning. Great to be here. Thanks for the opportunity.
Absolutely. Good morning to you as well. Now, the RCOC has been invested heavily in major thoroughfare improvements this summer, particularly between Willow Way and Pontiac Trail. What made this stretch such a priority for the Commission?
Well, it's the the condition of the road, the age of the road, and the traffic volume there. It's been on our radar for quite a while. We've been working on sections of Orchard Lake Road all along the corridor, and this was the next in line and the one that needed it the most at this point.
And along with that work, the repaving project between Pontiac Trail and Long Lake is also underway right now. How would you say these two projects complement each other?
Yeah, actually, from our point of view, it's one big project. We have the same contractor on there. It's designed as a single project. They're just completing the work in segments. So obviously they did the segment south of Pontiac Trail first, and now they're wrapping up the section between Pontiac Trail and Long Lake. So it's designed to be a single continuous project, just conducted in phases.
And many residents have noticed the scale of construction for both of these projects. What would you say are some of the biggest long-term benefits that people can expect once these projects are both completed?
Yeah, this was a major resurfacing project. So the biggest benefit is that there will be new pavement that will last for 20 to 30 years, provide a nice smooth surface there. We did removal of the previous pavement and put down all new pavement there. It'll be have new curb and gutters. ADA compliant crosswalks, so it'll be safer for pedestrians as well, and just generally a road that is now smooth and will last for many years to come.
I'm sure a lot of residents are going to love hearing that. Should make for a smooth ride to work or a fine commute as they go about their day-to-day plans. And road projects like this often involve significant planning. How far in advance would you say these upgrades were scheduled, and what factors go into selecting the timing of these projects?
We really start working on these projects 3 or 4 years, sometimes more, but in this case, probably 3 or 4 years ahead of time. There's a lot of work to line up the funding for these types of projects. There's a lot of design work. In this case, since it wasn't widening, there was no right-of-way acquisition, but that can also be a very time-consuming part of the process. So it's a very labor-intensive process leading up to before the public sees anything out there. As far as the timing of the construction work, in Michigan, we have a limited construction season, which is basically April to November. In this case, we wanted to get this done as close to the start of school as possible. So we started in late April, which is about as early as we can start a major construction project in this climate. And got it going with the goal of getting it done by the end of August. We'll overlap 1 week with the start of school in West Bloomfield, but we wanted to get out of there before we get into September. So that is what is going to happen.
You just hit the nail on the head with something you just said a moment ago, Craig. Back to school season is coming up very, very soon, and some residents have expressed concern about the timing of this work, especially as that quickly approaches. How does the RCOC respond to those concerns?
Yeah, we certainly understand that, and our goal is to do as little construction during school as possible, but there are cases like this where it's simply unavoidable. We started the project as early in the season as we possibly could, wrapped it up as quickly as we could, but still there's a little bit of overlap on each end. Unfortunately, that's simply unavoidable given the amount of time we have to work with in this climate in Michigan and the the length of the school year. There is, it takes time to do a major project like this, and there's unfortunately simply no way to avoid a little bit of overlap. Again, we try to minimize that as much as possible. We understand the inconvenience this causes, especially on a major corridor like Orchard Lake Road.
That's right, but I mean, a little bit of overlap isn't too big of a deal, especially compared to what it possibly could be. For those just joining us right now on the Splash Live, I'm talking with the Senior Communications Manager for the Road Commission for Oakland County, Craig Bryson, talking about the current construction projects that are taking place alongside our roads and along the roads throughout Greater West Bloomfield. Now, Craig, how does the Commission balance the urgency of road improvements with the impact on daily commuters, businesses, and school traffic?
Well, we always take that into account. We try to do everything we can. I mean, for example, this road remained open throughout construction. We did not. The quickest thing to do would be to close the road completely and get it done in a shorter period of time. Of course, that would cause, on a road that carries like this 30, 40,000 cars a day, that would cause major inconveniences. So we try to avoid that when possible, and then try to develop the construction plan in such a way that we get it done simply as quickly as possible at the most reasonable price. Because the other side of that equation is we are also stewards of public tax dollars, and the more we tighten down the schedule, the more it's going to cost us to do that project. So we want to find that balance between causing as little inconvenience as possible while costing as little as possible. And that's what we tried to do on this project.
That's right. And it sounds like you've got a lot of good things in place right now to make sure everything is seamless. Now, Craig, once these current projects wrap up, what's next on the horizon for major improvements throughout Oakland County?
Well, in West Bloomfield, we'll be starting another significant project in a couple weeks. That's the Commerce Road culvert replacement, where we're actually going to have to close Commerce Road between Green Lake Road and Union Lake Road starting September 2nd and running till about the end of September. There's a nearly 100-year-old culvert there that connects Green Lake on the north to Bloomfield Lake on the south that is failing. We need to replace that. So we'll be closing down the road September 2nd, tearing out that culvert, putting in a new culvert. And again, we know that's an inconvenience. Doesn't carry as much traffic as Orchard Lake Road, but certainly still a major corridor in the West Bloomfield area.
That's right, September 2nd. That is a very important date for everybody to remember as they start to plan out their commutes for the next few weeks. Craig, I got one more question before we wrap things up. Looking ahead, how does the RCOC plan to keep residents informed and engaged as more road projects continue to get rolled out?
Great question. We're always trying to do as much as we can to inform the residents on projects like actually both of these projects. We create a flyer that we send out to all adjacent properties. We draw kind of a big circle around the project and send a flyer directly to every homeowner and business in that radius. We use social media. We send press releases out to all of the traditional media and just try to share the word as much as we can. Social media is a big thing these days. We have Facebook, Instagram, X. We post all of our project updates on those. We post updates on our website, and also anyone that wants to can sign up on our website to receive text or email alerts that'll keep them updated on what we're doing.
The information is everywhere. Everywhere you look, you can stay up to date for what's going on throughout Oakland County. Craig, always a pleasure. Thank you so much for joining us today here on the Splash Live.
Thank you very much. Appreciate the opportunity.